What's up guys, it's Nina the Nail Nerd. This is a little bit of a different video. I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to do ombre. I just thought I would put a disclaimer on here because it is just my opinion. I've seen YouTubers post videos before and people get really upset, so I'm just putting this out there. I hope it helps you guys, but just keep in mind that it's just my opinion. It's just how I like to do things. People do things different, and that's okay. I'm starting with a normal pink to white gradient. I'm going to be posting the don'ts first and then the do's second. I didn't get a side by side of these two, but you can really see the difference. My first tip for doing a gradient is to make sure that the acrylic's really thin. Here I'm putting it on really thick so that you can see what happens when you put it on thicker instead of thinner. I'm using a drier, thicker bead here instead of a wet, thin one. I'm also not blending the top of the bead I put down up into the nail. I wanted to leave a ledge, which is something that you really want to avoid when doing ombre, and I'll show you why. As I put the pink acrylic on and I start to pull down, you'll notice that there's a harsh line in the nail. This is why you really want to make sure that the beads are really thin and wet, that way you don't end up with a demarcation line like that. I'll show you a side view in a second. You also want to avoid this because while you're trying to fix the ombre, you're going to make the nail thicker and thicker, and it's going to end up looking really bulky. So although this is fixable, you're going to end up with a thick nail, or you're going to file it away and the demarcation line is going to show anyway. So on this next nail I'm going to do it the correct way. I'm going to use really thin wet beads, and you're going to see a huge difference here. This also helps when you're filing because as you're trying to take that bulk off, you're not going to file away the ombre that you've just done. You can also see that I'm blending the white up into the nail. That way when I lay the pink acrylic down, it just blends better. It looks so much better already. I also want to point out that I'm able to add more to the ombre and be more picky. I can put more pink or white wherever I want it because it is thinner and it's not going to add too much bulk to the nail. If you're having a hard time with doing an ombre, I would really work on your ratio with powder to monomer, because once you have control over how wet or dry that bead is, I feel like it opens up a world of nail art for you. So I'm going to show you guys a side view and you can see how much thinner it is here. So I'm able to cap it in clear acrylic without it getting way too big. I'm going to finish this nail and then I'll be back for the next one. For this next one, I want to give you some tricks on how to do colors that are opposite of each other. I picked blue and red because they are completely opposite of each other. I'm starting with keeping the bead nice and thin, so that won't be a problem at all. You can ombre anything if you work with it long enough and if you use wet beads and if you can see the nail clearly. I really think this looks fine, but you can make it easier on yourself by adding a color that's kind of neutral in the middle between the colors. And that way you won't have to spend so long trying to blend the nail together. On this next nail, I'm going to use red and blue also. I'm just going to use purple in the middle because red and blue together are purple. You can see how thin I've left it. When you're working with acrylic that's really pigmented like this, you really don't need a whole lot just to put the color down. After I've laid down both colors, I'm just going to add the purple right in the middle and I'm going to blend up and down. I love this technique. For me, it makes things a lot easier. I hope it helps you guys out. Another thing I'll do is put just a tiny bit of whatever color I used on the bottom of the nail down because I feel like that just helps the pigment show a little bit better. And then here they are side by side. The second one I did is on the left, the first one is on the right. You can see a big difference from using the purple and not using the purple. This next one is how to improve a glitter ombre. When doing a glitter ombre, you want to use the base color first and then go in with the glitter second. That way the glitter doesn't end up looking muddy like I'm going to show you here. When I say base color, I just mean the color in the background. In this case it's pink, and then I'm going to use a purple color. On this nail I'm putting glitter down first and then I'm going to put the pink on top, and you can see just how muddy it looks. It really takes away all of the sparkle from the glitter, and this one really kind of bothers me a little bit. I see it sometimes. I don't ever say anything, but I definitely notice. You can tell a huge difference. I know that some people do their glitter ombres like this, and that's okay. This is just my opinion. I think it looks a lot better the other way, which I will show you guys here in a second. This next method, I'm going in with my base color first, which is the pink, and I'm pulling it down, leaving some room at the bottom for the glitter. I'm just making sure I'm using thin beads again. That is so important. So this time when I come in, I'm going to put the glitter where I want it, and then I'm going to kind of feather it up into the pink. That way you have a nice glitter fade. I also think this method is a lot easier because the glitter really disperses well. And here they are side by side. I can tell a huge difference. I hope you guys can. I hope this helps you with your glitter fades. This next one, I'm going to show you guys how to go from a lighter color to a darker color. I'm using red and black because it's a harder gradient to do in general, and I hope that I can give you guys some tips. On this first nail, the don't nail, I'm going to put the lighter color on first, and then I'm going to put the black on second, and you can see just how muddy and choppy the color looks. This is just because the black is so pigmented that wherever you put your brush, it's going to leave a mark of black. So when you do it the opposite way, it's a lot easier to blend, which I will show you guys here in a little bit. So on the second one, the do nail, I'm going to start with the darker color, which in this case is the black, and I'm just putting a really thin layer on, and then I'm going to ombre the red into it. You can see a huge difference immediately, and I think this is because the red is less pigmented, so you're going to see less drag marks when you put it onto the black, and it just blends so much better. I shouldn't say less pigmented, it's very pigmented. It's just lighter, so you're not going to see those drag marks on the black. This is also time to use a little bit of a thicker bead. This is probably the one exception because you want to fully cover the pigment of the black when you're blending. Think of layering, I guess. You're layering that red onto the black, and as you pull down, it's getting thinner. I also want to say that the nail's not going to get too bulky because the layer of black I put on was super thin, and this allows me to put more red acrylic on. That way, after I cap the nail in clear acrylic and file it, it's not going to file the ombre away. I hope that was a good explanation for you guys. Sometimes I don't know how to explain all this nail stuff. I am a cosmetologist, so most of the terms I learned were about hair in school. I do love nails, however, this is my first passion. This is what I want to do the most. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this in the comments below. If you do, also like my video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to see more tutorials like this or just more nail art in general. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!